A couple of weeks ago, a new Pseudo Legendary was introduced into Pokémon Go, and I'm of course talking about Baxcalibur. This Ice and Dragon type Pokémon is actually really strong, but not a lot of players will know how to properly use it. So the purposes of this video will be to spotlight this one Pokémon, and talk about where it could be extremely useful, and how you could pick one up for yourself. Alright, let's get right into it. How's it going, everyone? It's me, it's Jinsula. I hope you're having a good day, and welcome to today's Pokemon Go video. Today we're going to be putting a spotlight on Baxcalibur. This is of course the latest new entry in the Pseudo Legendaries in Pokemon Go, and this video is a long time coming, considering that it's been about 2 weeks since this Pokemon was first introduced. The thing is with Baxcalibur is that it is a very powerful Pokemon for certain aspects of Pokemon Go. However, not a lot of players will actually care about this Pokemon, considering how rare the unevolved form is. Getting enough candies to evolve a Frigibax into a Baxcalibur and then to max it out is near impossible right now, just considering how rare Frigibax is. For everything that Baxcalibur does, there's also going to be other Pokemon that are comparable that are going to be much easier to get. So because of that, I feel like this Pokemon falls by the wayside. But eventually this Pokemon is going to be a lot more common, and more players are going to have it in their collection. And when that day comes, they're going to find that this Pokemon is actually really good for raid battles. But to better understand this, let's go over this Pokemon in detail. Baxcalibur has the rare type combination of Dragon and Ice. This means it's going to have a weakness to Dragon types, Fairy types, Fighting types, Rock types, and Steel types. It's also going to have a resistance to Electric, Grass, and Water type attacks. Baxcalibur is going to be weather boosted by windy weather and snowy weather. In terms of the base stats, it has a base attack stat of 254, a base defense stat of 168, and a base stamina stat of 229. These stats are extremely good for raid battles. It has higher than usual attack stats, and in terms of stamina, it's actually pretty good, so it's going to have some bulk on top of it. If you want to use Baxcalibur for PvP, the rank 1 IVs for the Great League is going to be 2 attack, 15 defense, and 15 stamina, and then for the Ultra League, it's going to be 1 attack, 15 defense, and 15 stamina. Now let's talk about what moves Baxcalibur can bring. In terms of the fast attacks, it can come with Dragon Breath and Ice Fang. In terms of the charge attacks, it can come with Blizzard, Avalanche, Outrage, and Dragon Claw. I'll get more into where Baxcalibur is the most effective later on, but let me just say that in terms of its moves, you will want to go with Ice Fang, Avalanche, and Outrage. The reason why you will want to go with Ice Fang over Dragon Breath is because this Pokemon is going to be way more effective as an Ice-type attacker, so you will want to make sure you're bringing your best Ice-type attacks, considering that Ice Fang is going to be your number one option if you're going to be using this Pokemon as an Ice-type. But do not sleep on Baxcalibur as a Dragon-type. The combination of Dragon Breath and Outrage is going to be second to none. Like, it's definitely the most powerful Dragon-type move combo that you can have. But in terms of Baxcalibur's overall usefulness, it's going to be a lot better as an Ice-type, so Ice Fang and Avalanche should be your biggest priorities. So yeah, based on the base stats as well as the moveset, Baxcalibur is a phenomenal raid attacker. This Pokemon is actually the top non-Mega and non-Shadow Ice-type raid attacker currently in the game. It just edges out Galarian Darmanitan, so it is definitely one you will want to have in your collection. However, one of those shadows is actually really easy to get, and I'm of course talking about Shadow Mamoswine. That Pokemon is going to do a lot more Ice-type damage compared to Baxcalibur, to a degree where it is not even going to be worth it to get yourself a good Baxcalibur. If you were to fill your raid team with 6 Shadow Mamoswines with Ice-type attacks, it's going to outperform and be much easier to have compared to 6 Baxcaliburs. So that is something you should keep in mind. This Pokemon is really good, but it is not good enough where it merits spending so many rare candies and Rare Candy XL to get yourself a maxed out one. Okay, so now that we established that Baxcalibur is a good raid attacker, now let's talk about its relevance in PvP. Unfortunately, this Pokemon is not that good. Among the 3 leagues of the Go Battle League, it really does not fit in with any of the metas. Like, it does have some potential in the Master League, but it's going to be outclassed by a Pokemon that's very similar to it, and I'm of course talking about Kyurem. There's just no place for this Pokemon in PvP. It's really unfortunate, because there is a lot of potential with this Pokemon, but I just feel like, unfortunately, the stats do not justify ever using this Pokemon. Maybe in the future, if it gets a different move, or it gets a Shadow form, then it will be actually useful in one of the leagues, but as of right now, it doesn't fit in with either the Great League, Ultra League, or Master League. But of course, I could be wrong here. There might be a Great League team, for example, that might actually work with Baxcalibur or any of its pre-evolutions. Like, there's a lot of room for you to build around this Pokemon, considering its typing. It's going to be really hard to find a Pokemon that has both the Ice type and Dragon type that's going to be viable, so this Pokemon still has a lot of potential. Maybe if you could build a really good team around it, then it could actually net you some wins in maybe the Ultra League or the Master League. But again, there's Kyurem, which I feel is the better choice when it comes to a Dragon and Ice type when it comes to PvP, so that's something you do have to keep in mind. But overall, this Pokemon is pretty good, and I do think as a raid attacker, it's still worth getting, but like I said, there's other Pokemon that are going to be much easier to get that are going to be better options or comparable. But yeah, in any case, that's going to be it for this video. I just wanted to do a quick analysis of this particular Pokemon. Do you have yourself a Baxcalibur in your collection? Have you been using it in any aspect of Pokemon Go? Definitely share that in the comments and let's have a great discussion. And thank you so much for making it to this point in the video. If you ended up enjoying it and found it to be informative, make sure you hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if it's your first time here. And also don't forget that little bell so you can stay up to date on whenever I upload videos. And I want to give a quick shout out to all the members of my Patreon family. You make this channel content possible. If you want to join my Patreon, you could do so by following the links in the description below. For every member of my Patreon family, they get a permanent spot on my in-game friends list. So if you want to interact with me in Pokemon Go, like with remote raids or the friendship system, then make sure you go and check out my Patreon. And also, if you want to support my channel non-monetarily, you could always do so by following me on social media. My handle is @Jinsula, and I'm on the following platforms. Alright, and that's going to be it. I'm Jinsula. Be safe, have fun, love yourself, and I'll catch you all later.